Hello everybody, welcome to this instruction video. In this video I'd like to show you how to make part 5 of the Crochet Along I Want That bag, designed by Kimberly from Just a Girl and a Hook. So the yarn I'm using for this video is, as always for this entire project, Scheepjes Bloom yarn and a 5mm crochet hook. I'll be taking you step by step through the rounds making up part 5, and what's especially very nice is this round we're making flowers with these intricate chain 7 loops that we're going to be making, as well as the flower itself. I really like this part of the design, and we're finishing off with a beautiful edge. So I'll be taking you through the rounds making up part 5. I hope it's a useful video for you. Thank you for watching. Round 38. This round we're going to be making tipsy clusters, so they're going to be on their side. We're going to start in the join. If you remember from the end of part 4, I moved my stitch 2 stitches to the right, so I started here instead of here. So I'm going to go back now by moving 2 stitches to the left. So I'm still in the same position, relatively speaking, for starting this series of stitches. So if you did not move to the right, you start in the same position as your join, which would be a stitch like this. I'm going to move 2 to the left, and we're going to start with a standing double crochet. There we go. And this double crochet is going to be the first of 4, so we're going to make 3 more in the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So we now have 4 double crochets in total here. So after the double crochets, we're going to make a chain 2. And now we're going to skip 4 single crochets, 4 stitches, and then stitch number 5 we're going to work 5 double crochets. So skip 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches, and then stitch number 5 going to work 5 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 double crochets. So it's a chain 2, and then skip 4 stitches, and stitch number 5 work this fan here, these 5 double crochets. Now, not making any chain stitches now, very important, don't accidentally go make a chain 2 or something. No chain stitches. Skip 2 stitches, so 1, 2, and then work 5 double crochets on 5 stitches. See, I've skipped 2 stitches there. It's 1 double crochet, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this here, from the chain 2 up to this 5 double crochets, this you're in total going to do 11 times. I'll show you this entire repeat one more time. Chain 2, and then skip 4 stitches, work 5 double crochets in 1 stitch. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches skip, and stitch number 5. That's 1 double crochet, 2, 3, 4, double crochets. Do not make any chain stitches, but skip 1, 2 stitches, and then on the next 5 stitches work 5 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, and 5 double crochets. You can see I've now worked 2 of these repeat units. I'm going to make 11 of these, then I'll show you how to do the last bit of this round, because you're going to be connecting it to this part here. So make 11 of these repeat units, these ones. So I've just done the 11 repeats, you can see them all here. The last part, make it chain 2, 1, 2, then skip 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches, and stitch number 5, again work 5 double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Skip 2 stitches, 1, 2. This is my stitch containing the join, and then on that third stitch work 1 double crochet. And then you're at where you started, and you can join on that first standing double crochet with a slip stitch. And that completes your first round of clusters. Round 39, I have a new color yarn on my hook, and we start this round in the stitch where we made the join. That's this stitch here. So of those 5 double crochets on a row, you have the second stitch. What I'm however going to do is I'm not going to use this position, but just the next position, because I don't want all my joins in one place. So it's exactly the same position, but only one point. I move one to the left. So that means you have the second double crochet here of the 5, because that's the same one, and we start with a standing double crochet. Like so. Followed by 3 more double crochets on the next 3 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3. There we go. We've now made 4 double crochets in total. Now we're going to work again 5 double crochets in 1 stitch, and we're going to work it in the first stitch of these 5 here that we have this cluster here. So on that first stitch we're going to make 5 double crochets in the 1 stitch. So in this position here, you can see how that one there, make 5 double crochets. Get a bit more yarn here. There we go. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is number 5. So you can see how your cluster is now offset, so it's a little bit skew, and hence the word tipsy for these clusters. So made this cluster of 5 double crochets in that first stitch, chain 2, and now we're going to skip the next 4 double crochets. So that's in essence all these double crochets from the cluster, and on the next 5 regular double crochets, these ones here, you're going to make a double crochet on each. So skip all these 1, 2, 3, 4 that you still have left, and the first one, that's that stitch here, that stitch, work a double crochet. So then that is number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this is your repeat unit. I'm going to do this in total 11 times. So now I'll show you once more, because we're going to start immediately with the cluster. Just move my work a little bit, because it's getting a bit big and cumbersome in front of the camera. There we go. So I'll show you the repeat once more. I'm going to make 5 double crochets in this first stitch here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 double crochets. Chain 2, 1, 2, skip the next for the remaining 4 double crochets from the cluster and go to your next 5 double crochets that are all on a row, and on all of these you work a double crochet. So on that first stitch, so you're again going to make 5 double crochets on these 5 stitches. It's 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now I've done the repeat 2 times in total, so 1 and 2. So you're going to do this 11 times, so 9 more, and then I'll just show you how to do the last bit before and to close this round. So do this in total 11 times. When you've done your repeat 11 times, you can see here I have the repeat 11 times, and of course on this last one I've taken the thread with me from the join from the previous round, so I've been working over this, and now I've just got this last bit here to do. So start with 5 double crochets in the first of this cluster here, so 5 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 2, 1, 2, and on the first double crochet here of these 5 you still need to work 1 double crochet. Close on the first standing double crochet, and then you've completed round 39. Round 40, I have a new color yarn on my hook, and again the pattern calls to start in the stitch containing your join. Now remember, to make round 39 I moved 1 equivalent position to the left. I'm now again going to move 1 equivalent position to the right. The reason is that I don't want all my joins in the same place. So the position is the second of the 5 double crochets in the row. So I'm just going to turn my work a little. There we go. So the second double crochet of the 5 is going to be this stitch here. And this is also the same position where the join is from round 38. See, that's the position here. So there, I'm going to start with a standing double crochet on that second stitch. There you go. Start with a standing double crochet and work on the next 3 stitches, work 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3. So you've worked 4 double crochets here on those 4, on these last 4 double crochets in the row. Chain 2, and now we're again going to make a cluster, and we're going to skip the first 4 stitches of this cluster and work it in the 5th. So this last stitch here of these 5. You're going to work 5 double crochets in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You've worked 5 double crochets in the last stitch of these 5 from the previous cluster. I'm going to skip the chain 2 and immediately on these next 5 stitches work 5 double crochets. That's going to be the first one. And this second stitch here, of course, contains the join. I'm going to work over my yarn, taking it with me. And one more. And there we go. 5 double crochets worked. Just going to pull this thread a little tighter just to get that join a bit neater. If you fiddle around with this a little bit, you can often get it just a little bit crisper and a bit neater. So made the cluster and these 5 double crochets. Our repeat unit starts at these 5 double crochets. I'm going to make 11 of these repeat units. 5 double crochets followed by chain 2, 1, 2. I'm going to skip the first 4 of this cluster and again in number 5 work 5 double crochets. You can see the rhythm is very similar to what we've done before in the previous 2 rounds. The only difference basically is the position of the chain 2 and the position of the 5 double crochets making the cluster, but in essence you're doing the same thing for these rounds. So that's a cluster, and then again on the next 5 stitches. So this is your repeat unit there. So now again we're going to make 5 double crochets on the next 5 stitches. That's going to be these 5 here, and we're starting a new repeat unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 2, and again in the last of these 5 stitches here you work 5 double crochets. You're going to repeat this 11 times in total, go all the way around, and then I'll show you how to do the last bit here. But you see the rhythm is very similar to what we've done before. I need one more. I've only got 4 now. And 5. So repeat this 11 times and go all the way around. Round 41, I have a new color yarn on my hook, and round 41 is exactly the same as round 39, so we're going to be doing exactly the same as what we did here in the purple. I'm again going to start in a different position. The join is on this second of these 5 double crochets here, and that's also the position the pattern asks you to start. So I'm going to take the equivalent position, one to the right. So this one here, I'm going to start the second of these 5 double crochets. I'm going to start with a standing double crochet in that second stitch. And like so. And also now make 3 more double crochets on the next 3 stitches. If you hear something strange in the background, that will be my cat snoring. He's lying passed out on the windowsill. 4 double crochets, and now we're ready to make the first cluster. We're again going to be doing it on the first of these 5 double crochet cluster here. So on that first stitch, again work 5 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 double crochets. Chain 2, and now we're again going to work 5 double crochets on these 5 stitches here. So you're going to skip the rest of the cluster, and on the first work a double crochet. I'm just going to go slightly faster here because this is exactly the same as round 39. So this work method here should not be unfamiliar to you at this point. So on these next stitches I'm going to make 5 double crochets on the next 5 stitches, taking the thread with me here to the back, that thread, like so. And this is your repeat unit. You're going to do this, so from the cluster, chain 2 and the 5 double crochets, this you're going to do in total 11 times. You go all the way around, and at the end, yes, now we do 5 double crochets again, and at the end you will of course have just that last bit to repeat. So this will be the 5 clusters, chain 2 and then the 1 double crochet. And what's important at the end of this round is you should not cut off your yarn, because you're going to use the same color for the next round. It's of course not compulsory, you can use a different color if you want, but I'm going to stick to the color advice for this one time, because I'm very bad at sticking to color advices, but this time I am going to, because it'll give you a nice edge for doing the last part of the pattern, which are flowers. So make your repeats all the way around, and you get here close with a slip stitch to that first standing double crochet. Round 42, still have the same color yarn on my hook, so I have not cut off. Round 42 is not so much difficult as there is just a lot happening, but I'll be taking you step by step through everything that we'll be doing. Just gotta fudge my work in front of the camera here. I'm going to start with, at the moment in the join here, in that standing double crochet, I'm going to go with the slip stitch to the next stitch. Like so. Chain 2, this chain 2 does not count as a stitch, and we're going to make a half double crochet in the same stitch, and this half double crochet is of course your first stitch. Make a half double crochet on the next 3 stitches also, so that's 1, 2, 3 half double crochets on the next 3 stitches. Now we're going to do single crochets in the next 3 again. So that's 1, 2, 3 stitches, and then again a half double crochet. And there we go. So you see how by working these singles and half doubles you've now made a straight edge there. Now we're at the chain 2 space. In the chain 2 space you're going to make 2 half double crochets. So 1 and 2. We're going to now start a small repeat unit that we're going to be doing 2 times. Just turn my work a little bit here. I'm going to do half double crochet on the next 6 stitches. So all of these 5 plus that first one from the cluster. So on make 6 half double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then number 6 is here on the first of this cluster here. So that's number 6. 6 half double crochets. Now of course you will not be surprised that you will now be doing, sorry, the bag is just hopelessly in the way here. And now you're going to do single crochets again. 3 single crochets on these middle 3 stitches from the cluster. That's 1, 2, 3 single crochets, and again a half double crochet in this last stitch here. And now you're at the chain 2 space again, in which you're going to be making 2 half double crochets. 1 and 2. And what we've just done, we're now going to do again. So this unit here we are going to do a second time. So make a loop. Make 6 half double crochets on the next 6 stitches. So the first one is here on the series of 5 double crochets. So make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then number 6 is the first one of the cluster. Work 3 single crochets on the 3 center stitches of the cluster. That's 1, 2, 3. A half double crochet on the stitch, the last stitch of the cluster, and then 2 half double crochets in the chain 2. 1 and 2, like so. That was the repeat 2 times, and now we're going to just do something slightly different. We're going to make a half double crochet 2 together. So on these next 2 stitches we're basically going to be decreasing a stitch. So this is the first part of a half double, so that half double would be to now do this. We're not going to do that. We're going to pick up and not pull through, and then again yarn over, and the next stitch pick up and take them all off. That's a half double crochet 2 together. Now work half double crochets on the next 4 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then number 4 is again here on the top of this cluster here. what you see what's happened here is you now have decreased one stitch, because in the previous repeat we had 6 stitches here, but now you only have 5 because you've made this decrease here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches there instead of 6. So made these half double crochets, single crochet on the next 3 stitches, which are again on your cluster. So that's 1, 2, 3 single crochets, and then a half double crochet on the last stitch, and again 2 in the chain 2 space. 1 and 2. We're going to do exactly the same we've done before, so not the decrease but the repeat unit we had before that. So we're now again going to do that 2 times. And I'm just going to have to fudge my work here a little bit. There we go. Again going to make 6 half double crochets on the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then do 3 single crochets in the middle. 1, 2, 3, a half double on this last stitch, and 2 half doubles in the chain 2 space. 1 and 2. Now I just need to check my repeat units. Yes, if we check the repeat unit, this was the point where we decreased the half double crochet. So here we're now starting again a repeat unit, so we're going to do this once and twice. So this was the first time, so what we've just done we're going to do again, which is 6 half double crochets on the next 6 stitches. It is essence always the same repeat unit, with the difference that every once in a while we're decreasing 1 stitch. And you need to keep your wits about you when that 1 stitch is. So 6 half double crochets followed by 2 single crochets, sorry, 3 single crochets of course on the center 3 from the cluster. It's 1, 2, 3 times, and then another half double and 2 half doubles in the chain space. And now you've done the, let me call it the regular repeat without the decrease. That's this stitch here, so with the 6 half doubles starting. You've now done this 2 times because you've done it here once and twice. And if you go 3 times back, you'll see here's your decrease, that stitch there. Now we're going to work a decrease repeat again. And now we're going to start the repeat unit again, starting with 2 half double crochets together. So at this point here is the same as if we go 2 repeats back, this point here where you have this half double crochets worked together, these 2. So this series you're now going to repeat 3 times, and what you'll notice is what you're doing is you're doing 2 sets of 6 half double crochets here. So that's this set and this set, and you're doing 1 set with 5 half double crochets, where that 5 is of course because you're working these 2 together. So that's your rhythm. You're going to do 1 where you have a half double together and then all these stitches, and then you have 1 where you have them all, and you have a second where you have them all. So if that's maybe easiest for you to remember, to look for the rhythm. So now we're again going to work 2 half doubles together in the next stitch, and this one. So in those next 2 stitches, oh wait, that was of course a single, need to do yarn over, and then pull through all these stitches. And now you're working half double crochets on the next stitches until you get to the cluster here where you're working 3 single crochets on those center 3. You're going to go all the way around, and do realize it's a little of a it's not so much a difficult round, but it is a tricky round because there's so much happening. But remember, you're working 2 sets without a decrease, and you're working 1 set with a decrease, so it's 2 1 2 1, and in between you're working everything as we've done before. So these are half double crochets until you get to the fan, and then the center 3 stitches of that cluster fan you work single crochets, and then a half double crochet, and in the space again 2 half double crochets. That's 1 and 2. Now onto a next set, a repeat unit again, and here I would work a half double crochet on every stitch because I've just done a decrease here. So now I need to work 2 sets with a half double crochet on every stitch. You're going to go all the way around, and when you get to the beginning here, you're going to work a half double crochet on that first stitch there, and then connect the whole lot, because you still need to make a 2 together here. So go all the way around and close with a slip stitch on that first standing half double crochet. So just to show you the very last end of this round, I've now done the last repeat, and I still need to make 1 last half double crochet 2 together before closing on the top here. So on that double crochet, pick up, yarn over, and also in the next stitch, and this is the stitch that contains the join, pull off all of them, and now close with a slip stitch to this first half double crochet. You see you still have the chain 2 here. You're not going to use that chain 2, but you're going to go to the first stitch, and then that completes round 42. And what's important here is count your stitches. Make sure you have 140 stitches, because we've been reducing stitches a few. We've come from 144 to 140 with these half double 2 togethers. So count your stitches and make sure you have the correct number of stitches, and then in the next round we're going to be making leaves. Round 43, this round we're going to be making leaves. So I've got a green color yarn on my hook, and the pattern asks that you start in the stitch containing the join. That's this stitch here. That's a stitch immediately to the left of the half double crochet 2 together. I'm not going to start on this stitch, but in an equivalent stitch on another position of this row. So a stitch immediately to the left of the half double crochet 2 together. So I'm going to go and look for another half double crochet 2 together, and let me just quickly see, I should have one here somewhere. Yes, here it is. This is a half double crochet 2 together, so I'm going to start on the stitch to the left of that. I'm going to make a standing single crochet in this stitch. So this is the half double 2 together, and then 1 stitch to the left, make a standing single crochet, followed by 7 more single crochets in the next 7 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, more yarn, 5, 6, and number 7. Let me just move everything a bit. So 7 stitches, 8 in total if you count these standing also. And now we're going to be making the leaves themselves. In the next stitch, that's this stitch here, work a single crochet and chain 7. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This single crochet chain 7 I'm going to do 3 times. So that was once. Then in the same stitch, exactly the same stitch, work a single crochet and again chain 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and work a single crochet again in the same stitch. So now you've got 2 of these chain leaves. So we're going to make a third one, again chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we're at the end of the mini repeat unit, which was a single crochet chain 7, do 3 times. But to complete this, we still need to work 1 single crochet in the same stitch. So in the same stitch, work a single crochet. That means that in this stitch here, you have 4 single crochets and the 3 chain 7 chains here, these loops. So that is your first leaf made, and in the next couple of rows we're going to catch these loops to connect them to our work. So that was the first leaf made, and now single crochet on the next 9 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and number 9. And this is your repeat. You're going to do this in all the way around basically. So now we're again going to be making a leaf on the next stitch. So your repeat is this leaf and 9 single crochets. So on the next stitch we're making a leaf again, which is a single crochet, chain 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, single crochet in the same stitch and chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and again a single crochet in that same stitch. So this leaf number 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chain stitches, and again a single crochet in that same stitch, like so. So now you have these 3 flower loops, petal loops here, and the 4 single crochets in the 1 stitch, and work 9 single crochets on the next stitches. Especially be sure not to accidentally skip this first stitch, because your leaf will be falling over your work. You could say you skip that stitch and then start here, because that is kind of the natural position at the moment. But be wary, do not skip this first stitch here immediately after. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And now on the next stitch, that will be this stitch here, we're going to make a leaf again. That's your repeat. So a leaf and 9 single crochets. Go all the way around, and just before the end you'll make your last leaf and then 1 more single crochet, and then close with a slip stitch. So on the last repeat you're omitting the last 8 single crochet, so you're just making your leaf and 1 single crochet. So go all the way around, and then you should have 10 leaves all around your bag. And in the next round we're going to be working behind our leaves. Round 44, I have a new color yarn on my hook, and we're going to start. The pattern says to start in the stitch that contains the join, that is this stitch here. This is the second stitch after the leaf cluster we just made. So this stitch, but I'm not going to start in this stitch. I'm going to start on the equivalent stitch on the next position. This is again to not have all my joins in the same place. I'm going to take exactly the same stitch, so that's the second stitch after the cluster. Second stitch, that's going to be this one here, and here I'm going to start. I'm going to start with a standing single crochet in this second stitch after the cluster. That's the stitch that contains the join here. Start with a standing single crochet on that stitch. I'm just going to move everything a little bit. There we go. So standing single crochet. And now we make 7 more single crochets on the next 7 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and here number 7. And now you should have reached the next leaf cluster. I'm going to start a repeat unit here. Let's chain 1. And what's now important is that you keep your leaf cluster to the front of your work, so not like this to the back, because we're now going to start working on these single crochets here, and you do not want it like this. You're going to be really upset if you have it like this, because then later on everything's going to go all wrong. So make sure your leaf cluster is to the front. You're going to skip the cluster itself and then go to the next single crochet. That's this one here, immediately the first one after all these leaf clusters that we made. So that very first single crochet, work a single crochet in there. You see how I now have my leaf in front of my work. And this is the first of 9 single crochets that you're working, and these are the 9 single crochets that are between the leaf clusters. So you have a cluster every 10th stitch, of course. So on these 9 you work 9 single crochets. And then this is the last one, this is number 9. Just move everything again. There we go. So now you have to work those 9 single crochets. And this is your repeat unit. The chain 1, making sure your work is your leaves are in front of your work, and then 9 single crochets on these 9 stitches in between the 2 leaf clusters. So I'll show you once more. Chain 1. Make sure your leaves are in front of your work. Go to the next single crochet, so skipping all the leaves. And let me just check which one that is. That's this one, not this single crochet here, because you can see this one is still part of the leaf cluster. You see it's in this stitch here. That one you do not want. So if I'll just open up here and show you, you do not want this stitch here. That's still part of the leaf cluster. You want this stitch. So make sure that you're onto the correct stitch, because it is kind of easy to accidentally take this single crochet, but that's still part of the cluster. You want that one there. So that was a chain 1. and then go to the next single crochet that's all by itself in a stitch, and work 9 single crochets on the next, on all 9 stitches between the leaf cluster. So you're going to go all the way around, and then at the end you will of course only have 1 single crochet because we started on 1 stitch just after. I'll just show you in a moment. So now I've again finished a repeat unit. So that was a chain 1 and these 9 single crochets. So you're going to go all the way around, and when you get back here, you will of course still need to work a single crochet on this stitch here, and then you can close with a slip stitch on this first standing single crochet. Round 45 we're on right now. In this round we're going to be catching 2 of the 3 leaves that we've made before, the left and right hand leaf. The center one we're going to leave for the moment, we're going to catch this one later. I'll show you exactly how to catch these leaves. In this stitch with the slip stitch join, that's this stitch here, chain 1 to bring me to the correct height, and in the same stitch make a single crochet. Now immediately on the next stitch, that's going to be this one here, we're going to work a single crochet in there, and at the same time catch the loop that's to the right of the join. So that's this loop here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the loop, then through the stitch, and I'm going to take the thread from the beginning with me also. So I've got a lot of things happening here. Then yarn over, bring through, and work a single crochet. And if you want to, you can just wiggle that. That's a nice even distribution of that loop. Chain on the next 3 stitches, going to work 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3 single crochets. Now we're again going to catch a loop, and we're going to catch this loop here. That's to the that's the right loop of these 2. So that's this one. Again through the loop, then through the next stitch, yarn over, bring through, work a single crochet. You should now have 2 stitches left before the chain 1 space, and on those last 2 stitches also going to work 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2. The chain 1 space that's behind the leaves, work a single crochet in that chain 1 space. I'll show you basically the repeat between 2 flowers, or leaves I should say. The single crochet you work in the chain 1 space. Then on the next 2 stitches, so it's stitch number 1 and 2, after the chain 1 space you work 2 single crochets. On stitch number 3 you catch the loop to the right. Then on stitches 4, 5 and 6 you work single crochets. On stitch number 7 you catch the loop, you catch this loop here, and then on stitches number 8 and 9 you again work 2 single crochets. So that's what we're going to be doing, and then you're back at the chain 1 space and work a single crochet. So that's what we're going to be doing in these 10 stitches. So the first 2 stitches work 2 single crochets. So 1, 2. Now we're going to catch the loop, and I'm catching it in this way. You can see what I mean with this way is as opposed to this way. I'm not twisting it. I'm making sure that if I have it like this, at the top of that chain 7 loop is at the top of my work, so it's not doing this. Through that loop, and where's the next stitch? Here's the next stitch. and a single crochet. The next 3 stitches, again work 3 single crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, and catch the next loop. That's going to be this one here. So through that loop and through the next stitch, work a single crochet. I have 2 stitches left. On those 2 stitches, work 2 single crochets. 1, 2, and then the chain 1 space again, where you work 1 single crochet. And this you're going to repeat all the way around. And what you see what's happening is how you're catching the left and right, or left and right I should say, 2 loops, and the center one we're going to leave for a moment. We're only going to catch this in a few rounds later. I'll show you this repeat once more. I just need to turn my work a little bit. There we go. And I'll show you this entire repeat one more time. On the first 2 stitches, so I've just worked a single crochet in the chain 1 space, and now a single crochet on stitches 1 and 2. Catch the loop that's closest to where you are right now, and make a single crochet. On the next 3 stitches, work single crochets. And now on the next stitch, this one here, we're again going to catch a loop that's to the left of where we are right now. And through this stitch. And then 2 more stitches to go. Work 2 single crochets on those stitches. And in the chain 1 space, work a single crochet. You can see how you're how it's all evenly distributed around the center. Center as a single crochet, then 2 stitches, and then catch a leaf. And then this is exactly the same on that side. 2 stitches and then catch the leaf, and in between you have 3 single crochets. So it's all very evenly distributed along those 10 stitches. So this is your repeat. You're going to go all the way around, and when you get back to the beginning, it's going to be here. Your last repeat will of course be only the single crochet worked in the chain space, then a single crochet on the first stitch, and then you close with a slip stitch to that first single crochet we made here. So not the chain 1 space, but the single crochet. So go all the way around and catch all your loops, right and left, and leave the center loop for the moment. Round 46. This round is an easy round because we're going to work a single crochet on each and every stitch. So chain 1 to bring you to the correct height, and then in the same stitch as your join, make a single crochet, and then make a single crochet on the next stitch and every stitch around. What's important is that at the end of this round you have 140 single crochets if you've been following the pattern along with the stitch count. Otherwise you should have a multiple of 10 stitches. If you've needed to, for example, change your base, you should have a multiple of 10 stitches at the end of this round. So I'm going to have 140. Take the time to just count your stitches and make sure that you're still on schedule. Go all the way around, work a single crochet on every stitch, and when you get to the beginning, close with a slip stitch to that first single crochet. So not the chain 1, the single crochet. Round 47. This round we're going to be making flowers. We're using a different color yarn for that. I'll show you how to carry your yarn and change colors. And where we're going to be making the flower is right in the middle of the flower of the leaves that we've made before. So you see the single crochet that's in the chain 1 space. You've got a single crochet on top of that, and this is the stitch where you're going to be making the flowers. So you can, and also before making the flower, we're also going to catch this loop. So that's what we're going to be doing. In that stitch, work the flowers. But before we get there, I first need to work a bit more background color. I'm going to make a chain 1 to get me to the correct height, and then work a single crochet in the same stitch. And now I'm going to work a single crochet on every stitch until I'm almost to this stitch that I'm going to work the flower in, this stitch here. So on the next stitches, work a single crochet. So, 2, 4, there we go, almost there. Just check, yes, 2 more. And then this is the last stitch, this stitch before I need to work the flower. You see, this here is the stitch that's in the chain 1. This single crochet that's in the single crochet that's in the chain 1 space. There we are. It's a whole row there. So now I need to change colors. I've just at the point of finishing this last single crochet before I need to make the flower. I've got 2 loops on my hook, and to change color, I'm going to take my new yarn color, and I'm going to yarn over in that new color. So I'm going to yarn over and pull through. And by doing so, there you go, and let me just pull the blue a little bit tighter because that whole loop's opening up. There we go. And by doing so, I've completed the single crochet in blue, but I now have the red yarn on my hook to do my flower. So to make the flower, I'm going to make 6 double crochets on the next stitch, but what's also important is we need to catch the loop that's that we still have left here. I'm going to twist the loop. See, this is its natural position. You're going to just turn it over, just twist it, and yarn over to work the double crochet. So through this loop and through the next stitch, where it is, there it is, and over both threads, the red and the blue, I'm going to pull up and work a double crochet. And this is double crochet number 1, and I need to work 6 of these. So that is 2, and 3, all in the same stitch, and 4. Might be a little bit crowded in there, but so be it. This is 5, and then this is number 6, and I have 3 loops on my hook. The first yarn over I'm going to do in red. Now the last yarn over, I'm going to change colors so that I can go back to my background color. So I've got the blue yarn here, which I'm going to do the last yarn over with and pull through. So you can see what you've now done is you've worked 6 double crochets in red, and the last yarn over doing in blue changes your color back to your background color. And now I'm going to do all of that again. So I'm just going to turn my work a bit. There we go. So on the next 9 stitches, those are these 9 stitches that are between the flower petals. I'm going to work 9 single crochets, and while doing so I'm going to take the red yarn with me and work over it. So 1, 2, that'll be 4. Really make sure it's to the back, that red yarn, because otherwise you will see it coming through the front. So you really might need to keep it to the back. There we go. And work 9 of these stitches, so that's exactly between the flower petals. And yes, I need 1 more. So this is the last single crochet before I work a next flower. Now I've got one loop on my hook and my yarn over. I'm again going to do in red. I just need to get my yarn a little bit untwisted here. There we go. Because that is something that can happen when working with two colors, so that your yarn twists itself up. So the yarn over and then the red and pull through. That brings you again the correct color yarn on your hook. Now again work 6 double crochets in this single crochet that's in the single crochet that's in the chain 1 space, and take the loop, the last chain 7 loop with us. So yarn over for a double crochet, take the loop, remember to twist this loop and into the next stitch. It's going to be this one, and also working over the blue thread to the back. So 1 and 2, 3, 4, and this is number 5. It is getting crowded in there again. And then number 6. Now the first yarn over you do in your flower color, and the last yarn over you do in your background color. So again, change colors. So yarn over. Now I've got the blue yarn on my hook again, and I've completed the flower. I'll show you this is your repeat. So these 9 single crochets in between the flowers and the flower petal itself. So you're going to work all this all the way around. I'm going to show you this entire unit once more. And let me just turn everything again, because my bag is getting rather big, which is of course lovely, but doesn't always make things easier with the camera. Right, so on the next 9 single crochets, so between the flower petals, work 9 single crochets and work over the flower color also. 2. So I'm keeping that red yarn really to the back, so that it doesn't show through the front. You see, if you do it correctly, you don't even see that red yarn. You see, there's nothing here. You don't see anything. But if you have it, don't have it enough to the back, you will see it on the front. So keeping it to the back of my work, make 9 single crochets. There we go. Then is this the last one? Let me just check. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, this is single crochet number 9. And again, the last yarn over I'm going to do in the flower petal color, which means got my yarn twisted again, which means I'm going to change to the red and pull through. So to work the flower again, remember I'm going to yarn over for the double crochet, take the loop, twist this loop through the loop and through the next stitch, and work a double crochet. That's 1, and you're going to do 6 double crochets in this stitch. It's 3 and 4. Just need a bit more yarn. 4. There we go. 5. And the last one, number 6. So the first yarn over we do in red, and the last yarn over I'm going to do in blue, like so. And then that completes again a flower petal. So now I can work 9 single crochets again and then do the next flower. So you're going to continue like this. You're going to go all the way around. You see I've now worked 3 flowers here. You're going to go all the way around. And when you get here, you're going to of course work your last flower and then you will need one more single crochet before you close with a slip stitch join. And at that, when you're at the end of this round, you can cut off the flower yarn color because you're not going to need that anymore. So you can cut off the red yarn. Do keep the blue yarn because we're going to work the next round in blue also. Round 48. This round we're going to be working a single crochet on every stitch and chain one behind the flower that we just made. Do it. Chain one does not count as a stitch, and in the same stitch as the join, make a single crochet. And now make a single crochet on every stitch until we get to the double crochet. So on all the single crochets, you work a single crochet. And this one, and this one, and here's the last one. Don't get confused because you're seeing here the red thread from the double crochet. That's that last yarn over you did. Work a single crochet on that stitch too. So we're going to skip all the double crochets, do a chain one. That's to make space to skip the flower, and then go to the next stitch immediately after all these double crochets. It's going to be this stitch here. We're going to work double crochet in, or sorry, a single crochet in there. Work a single crochet. And now also a single crochet on all of these 9 stitches in between the flowers. Work a single crochet. And here's 2 more. Oh, sorry, 3 more. Especially this last single crochet, be mindful not to skip it. That's this one here. It's an easy one to forget because it's so close to the flower. So there should be 9 single crochets between 2 flowers. Then chain 1, and again skipping these 6 double crochets from the flower on the very first stitch. This one here, work a single crochet, etc. So you're going to continue like this and go all the way around. So on the 9 single crochets between the flowers, you work single crochets also, and behind the flower you make a chain 1. See how I have this chain 1 behind the flower there, so make sure it's behind and not to the front, so to the back. So work a single crochet on every stitch, and especially be mindful of the last one of number 9. It's this one here now. And then chain 1, past the flower, and on the first one work a single crochet. Go all the way around. You get back to the beginning. Oh, sorry, when you get back to the beginning, work the last single crochet, chain 1, a single crochet, and close with a slip stitch on your first single crochet. So not the chain 1, on the single crochet. What you can see happening is that this flower now really stands to the front. So it's a really nice 3-dimensional flower that you're making. Round 49. This round is not incredibly complicated because you're again going to make a single crochet on each and every stitch, and when you get to the chain 1 space, you're also making a single crochet in that space. I'm not going to start in the join because I don't want my joins all in the same place. I'm going to start on the next flower petal, and I'm going to start in the first single crochet immediately after the chain 1 space. So this is the chain 1 space. I'm starting in that first single crochet, that first stitch, and I'm starting with a standing single crochet on that first stitch immediately after the chain 1 space, and then I'm going to work a single crochet on each and every stitch, of course, until the next chain 1 space. That will be 9 single crochets to match the first 9 stitches we worked before. And when you get to a chain space, you work a single crochet in that space. So almost to the first space here. That last single crochet. This is the chain 1 space, so you work a single crochet in there also. Now you're back on that first stitch. Work a single crochet. So go all the way around, a single crochet on each and every stitch and in the chain 1 space. And you close with a standing single crochet, with the slip stitch on this first standing single crochet. And then you should have 140 single crochets all the way round. Round 50, the very last round of this crochet along. After this you can only finish your bag, nothing more to crochet. I'm going to start. I'm not going to start on the exact same stitch as the join, again because I don't want my joins all in the same place. I'm going to start in an equivalent stitch, which is the first single crochet directly after the chain 1 space. So you see this is the single crochet worked in the space. I'm going to take the stitch just next to it or to the left. I'm going to start on that stitch with a standing double crochet. Like so. So this is the single crochet exactly next to the chain 1, single crochet in the chain 1. It's 1 double crochet, and I'm going to work 3 more in the same stitch. So that means I have 4 double crochets in this stitch here, because the first one is of course the standing, and then 3 more in this same stitch. And there we go. So those are 4 double crochets in that stitch. I'm going to skip the next stitch, so skip 1 stitch. You could be mindful here, you're also going to be skipping 2 stitches later on, so I'm only going to skip 1 stitch. So 4 double crochets and skip 1 stitch and work a single crochet on the next. Work a single crochet. Now again, we're going to skip stitches, but this time we're going to skip 2 stitches. The reason is in the third stitch we're going to skip these 2. In this stitch here we're going to work 5 double crochets. So if it's easier for you to remember, we're going to work 5 and 4 double crochets. If you work 4, we only skip 1 stitch, and if you work 5, you're going to skip 2 stitches. So skip 1, 2 stitches, and then the next, that's this one here, going to work 5 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochets in that same stitch. So skipping 2 stitches, 1, 2, work a single crochet in the third stitch, and then that basically brings us back to this point here, because you're now going to skip 1 stitch again, because we're now going to make four double crochets in the same stitch, and that's going to be the repeat unit. So skipping 1 stitch, then work 4, skip 1 stitch, a single crochet, skip 2, work 5 doubles, skip 2, single crochet. See the rhythm here? So we're going to skip 1 stitch, and then in the next stitch going to work 4 double crochets, 2, 3, and 4. And now again skipping only 1 stitch because we're next to the 4 double crochets. Skip 1 stitch, work a single crochet on the next. You can see I've skipped that one stitch there. Now again skip 2 stitches because we're going to work 5 double crochets. So it's 2 skip and then work 5 double crochets in that 3rd stitch here. So skip 2 and then number 3 you work 5 double crochets. There's 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and work a single crochet again. And this you're going to keep on repeating this unit here. You see 4 double crochets, is chain 1 space on, or 1 stitch space on either side, single crochets in between, and here 5 double crochets, 2 single stitches skipped in between the single crochets. You can see it's 5 single crochet, 4 single crochet, 5, etc. So I'll show you the entire repeat one more time, and then you continue like that all the way around. Just move my work a bit. So, skip 1 stitch. We're going to work 4 double crochets, 2, 3, and 4. Skip 1 stitch and then work a single crochet. Skip 2 stitches and then work 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 double crochets. Now of course skipping 2 stitches, work a single crochet again. And you can see how you're making a lovely wavy edge for your bag. So continue like this, making these 5 and 4 double crocheted shells, and go all the way around and close at the beginning after this last single crochet, skipping the last stitch, and then close with a slip stitch. And then we're almost done with our bag. So when you've done all your last round of double crochets and single crochets, you still need of course to work away your yarn tails, and then you're all done on the crochet part of this crochet along, because part 6 will be about connecting what you've just made with the crochet to your bag itself. For that I will not be making a video, so that means this is the last video for this crochet along. I hope it was a useful video for you, along with all the others making up this entire project. I want to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again for a new project.